Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to our videos. Before we start our lesson, let me introduce my group. We are from 4th group, consists of me, Huratul Mala, and my partner, Felino Vitasari, and Milenia Tridista. In this special occasion, we will explain to you about felt clothes as representation. I hope you can watch this video and listen with carefully. Okay, check it out. Okay guys, for the first, I will explain to you about the definition of clothes as representation. Jadi apa sih clothes as representation itu? Clothes as representation means a clothing from its function as a tool to represent something, namely as a tool to describe everything that happened, whether that happened outside or inside the human body. So, clothes as representation itu maksudnya adalah sebuah glosa dilihat dari fungsinya as a tool to represent something atau sebagai alat untuk merepresentasikan sesuatu, yaitu sebagai alat untuk mendeskripsikan segala sesuatu yang terjadi, baik yang terjadi di luar maupun di dalam tubuh manusia. Oke, next, kalau tadi kita sudah membahas definitionnya, mari kita bahas yang selanjutnya, yaitu about components of clothes as representation. So in here there are 3 components of close representation. The first is subject, and then the second is verb, and then the third is jang and adverb. Saya yakin ya kalian sudah paham apa maksud dari subject, verb, and jang and adverb. And then kalau kita sudah paham tentang itu, in here there is example sentence. Ali gave me a book yesterday with a smile in the garden. Give as process, and then Ali, me, and a book as participant, and then yesterday with a smile in the garden as circumstance. Okay, next. What is centrally important in clothes as representation? Jadi apa sih yang menjadi sentral paling penting dalam clothes as representation? So, in here, centrally important in clothes as representation is process. Why process? Because process that largely determines the type of participant that are possible. Jadi karena proses itu yang paling mendominasi untuk menentukan types participant yang paling tepat untuk digunakan. Halliday refers to it as the system of transitivity. Transitivity is the overall research for constructing going of experience. It means the kind of activity expressed by a sentence, participants, and the manner of participant. The following figures show the importance of process and transitivity. Okay, next. It's about the clothes as representation element. Nah, in here there are 3 elements. The first is process, and then the second is participant, and then the third is circumstance. Okay, in here I will explain to you about process. Process will not exist without the role of each of its constituent components. Jadi proses itu tidak akan ada kalau semisal yang lainnya tidak ikut berperan. Nah, Halliday state that process element consists of the process itself, participant, and circumstance as optional element. Jadi, Halliday state that proses elemen, jadi elemen proses itu terdiri dari proses itself atau prosesnya sendiri atau prosesnya sendiri, terus kemudian ada participant dan circumstance. Kalau circumstance itu termasuk optional element ya, jadi tergantung konteksnya nanti. Nah, the process function is to show everything that happened in the clause and show the meaning implied in the group of verb which act as process. Jadi fungsi dari proses itu sendiri adalah untuk menunjukkan segala sesuatu yang terjadi di dalam klausa and show the meaning implied in the group of verb, dan menunjukkan makna tersirat dari sebuah kelompok verb atau kata kerja yang which act as a process. Nah, oke, tadi sudah dijelaskan tentang proses ya. So in here I will explain to you about type of process. Nah, there are 6 types of process. The first is material process, and then the second is mental process, and then the third is relational process, 4 behavioral process, and then 5 verbal process, and then the last is existential process. Oke, langsung masuk ke materi type proses yang pertama, yaitu material process. This material process is the process of doing something. As the saying goes, the process material element consists of A, the process itself, which is the verbal group, and B, participant, which are nominal groups. Jadi material proses itu adalah proses dalam melakukan sesuatu ya. Di sini for the example sentence ada contohnya, what did the tiger do? Since the verb used in this process is the verb action. Jadi verb yang digunakan di kalimat ini adalah tergolong dalam action verb. Kemudian Holiday also describe the concept of actor and goal. Nah, kemudian Holiday ini mendeskripsikan adanya konsep actor and goal. Apa sih actor and goal itu? Nah, di sini dijelaskan bahwa an actor is someone or something that does an action. Jadi actor ini adalah someone, seseorang or something atau sesuatu yang melakukan action atau melakukan tindakan. Kemudian goal is someone or something who is subject to or experience the consequence of the process. Kalau goal itu adalah someone or something, seseorang atau sesuatu yang mengalami konsekuensi dari suatu proses atau menjadi sasaran dari suatu proses. In here, there is example sentence. The lion called the tourist. The lion as actor, karena lion itu yang melakukan tindakan, and then call adalah proses tindakannya. The tourist as a goal, atau sesuatu yang mengalami konsekuensi dari si lion, atau sesuatu yang mengalami tindakan dari si lion. Jadinya itu adalah goal. Oke. Langsung saja kita masuk ke materi yang selanjutnya. Ada material process for doing transitive and intransitive. Kalau transitive itu perlu objek, kalau intransitive itu without object. So, A, doing transitive consists of actor, process, and goal. In here, creative, for creative verb, making goal. Creative verb itu membuat goal ya. For the example verb is create, make, build, develop, and etc. And then dispositive verb or affecting goal atau verb yang mempengaruhi goalnya. For the example send, throw, strew, dissolve, and etc. For the example sentence is John is cooking pizza. John as actor, is cooking as process, and then pizza as goal. And then B, happening intransitive. Happening intransitive just consists of actor and process. For the example verb, move, fall, rise, come, go, soften, hard, melt, etc. For the example sentence, John is coming. John as actor, and then is coming as process. Next, material process and passive. Nah, in here in passive ya. For the example sentence, the pizza is being cooked by John. The pizza is being cooked as process and by John as actor. Jadi kalau di pasif ini nanti goalnya jadi yang di depan, kemudian actornya jadi yang di belakang. And then B, there is material process with dispositive recipient. For the example verb, there are give, hand, throw, deliver, send, and etc. For the example sentence, John sent Meg a table. John sent a table to Meg. John as actor, send as process, Meg as recipient, and a table as goal. Nanti kalian bisa lihat sendiri ya di tabel. I'm sorry. The next ada material process with dispositive client. For the example verb, there are buy, make, get, do, cook, bake, and etc. For the example sentence, there is John make pizza. John is actor, bake process, make client, pizza as a goal. And then next, the material process with rank. Rank can be an extension of process and a scope of process. Jadi, rank can be extension atau perpanjangan dari sebuah proses. Rank is not an entity. Jadi, rank bukan sebuah entitas. For the example sentence, there is John play guitar or John sing a song. John as actor, play as process, and then guitar as rank or extension of process. Jadi perpanjangan suatu proses. Okay, because my material is finished, the next material will be explained by my partner Milenia Terista. For Milenia Terista, time is yours.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In here, I wanna continue the presentation. The next material is mental process. Okay, mental process is a process that occur in humans, namely the process of feelings, thinking, and seeing. The mental process is not doing something process, so it cannot be replaced by a do. And in this mental process, there are involved people called sensors and phenomenon. Sensor is someone who experience a process. Meanwhile, phenomenon is something that is experienced. Example, I like it. I as sensor, like as process, and it as phenomenon. Okay. The next, mental process kriteria. Jadi di sini mental process ini memiliki 5 kriteria. Di antaranya, the first, in the mental process, there is always an engaging person who is a human being, who feels things or realize or more accurately is like a human. And the second mental process clause is that what is felt. So, and realize is not only an object, but can also be a fact. Okay, the third, the basic tense of this clause is simple present. However, mental verb are also possible in present continuous. The fourth, mental process in English are represented two-way process. And fifth, mental process focus on things, not actions, that happen in human. Okay, the last part of mental process. Mental process always involves sensor and phenomenon. Illustration of whether sensor and phenomenon appear or not can be seen in the following example. Example 1. In a mental process clause, there might be a sensor and no phenomenon, which is written explicitly. Example, Jill cannot see. This clause actually has a phenomenon, but it is not stated explicitly. Okay, the second, conversely, in the clause there might be phenomenon, but no sensor. Example, her every look bewitches. Okay, the sensors of bewitches are human, but not mentioned implicit. Okay, relational process. Relational process is a process about state existence of someone or something. Each type of relational process has two forms, namely attributive and identifying. What is attributive? Attributive is a process of giving attribute to a thing, and participantsnya carrier and attribute. And types of attribute, there are three. Di antaranya appearance, pace, and measures. Okay, contoh, he is at Moscow. He as a carrier, is as a process, and at Moscow as attribute. Okay, the next, identifying. What is identifying? Identifying is a process of giving a value of thing. Participantsnya token and value. Example, John is the police. John as token and is as process, and the police value. The most basic difference between the two is the identifying clause is reversible, while the attributive clause cannot. The identifying clause is passive, while attributive clause is not passive. Okay, that's all of my explanation.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ferry Novitasari, and the next explanation will be explained by myself. Jadi penjelasan yang selanjutnya yaitu tentang types of process yang keempat. Behavioral process. Behavioral process are physical and psychological behavioral process, such as breathing, dreaming, and smiling. Jadi behavioral process itu merupakan proses perilaku yang bersifat fisik ataupun psikologis, contohnya seperti bernafas, bermimpi, ataupun tersenyum. There are two types of behavioral process. Jadi behavioral process itu mempunyai dua jenis. Yang pertama ada verbal behavior, itu lebih ke arah komunikasi. Contohnya ada talk, chat, call, dan sebagainya. Participantsnya namanya ada behavior, receiver, sama verbiage. Untuk jenis yang kedua itu ada mental behavior. Contohnya seperti look at, smile, laugh, cry, dan sebagainya. Nah, the participantsnya itu namanya behavior sama phenomenon. Contohnya di situ ada tabel. Yang pertama kalimatnya ada he look at the carving. He itu berperan sebagai partisipan berupa subjek, namanya behavior. look at sebagai proses, dan the carving itu sebagai partisipan juga, tapi dia berupa objek, namanya phenomenon. Types of process yang kelima yaitu verbal process. Verbal process, according to Halliday, is a said process of saying. Say here is not only fixed on the verb say, but includes all kinds of verbs which are related to the meaning of say. Jadi menurut Halliday, verbal process itu adalah proses mengatakan. Verbal process itu tidak hanya verb say saja, melainkan semua verb atau kata kerja yang memiliki makna mengatakan. Contohnya seperti ask, tell, dan sebagainya. Nah, the participants-nya itu sayer, verbiage, dan juga receiver. Contohnya ada kalimat John asked him a question. John bertanya kepadanya a question atau pertanyaan. Nah, John itu adalah partisipan berupa sayer, ask itu proses, him itu receiver atau penerima, a question itu sebagai verbiage atau objeknya. Types of process yang keenam yaitu existential process. Existential process plays a role in providing an idea that something exists or happens. Jadi existential process itu memberikan satu gambaran bahwa sesuatu itu ada ataupun terjadi. The participant of this process is existent. Jadi partisipan di proses ini namanya existent. Contohnya ada kalimat there is a book on the table. Ada sebuah buku di meja. Jadi itu menjelaskan bahwa di meja itu ada buku, menjelaskan suatu keberadaan. Is di situ berperan sebagai proses, a book itu sebagai partisipan, namanya existent, dan on the table itu berperan sebagai circumstance karena dia menjelaskan tentang tempat. Penjelasan selanjutnya yaitu mengenai participant. According to Lisa Holopainen, participant is an element of a process consisting of humans or objects. Jadi menurut Lisa Holopainen, partisipan itu adalah bagian dari proses yang terdiri dari humans atau manusia dan juga objects atau benda. So, it can be concluded that the participant belongs to the class of nouns. Jadi, partisipan itu berupa noun. The process can occur because there are certain actors who have their receptive roles in a clause. Jadi, proses itu bisa terjadi ketika partisipan memerankan perannya masing-masing dalam sebuah klausa. The participant is then integrated into the process so that it becomes a series that produce meaning. Jadi, partisipan dan proses itu bersatu membentuk sebuah rangkaian agar menjadi sebuah makna. Penjelasan selanjutnya yaitu circumstance. The circumstance is an optional element. This element might or might not appear in a clause. Jadi circumstance itu adalah bagian yang optional. Jadi bisa ada di dalam sebuah klausa, bisa juga tidak ada dalam sebuah klausa. Circumstance can be identified by questions such as when, where, why, how many, and as what. Jadi, circumstance itu bisa diidentifikasikan dalam sebuah pertanyaan. Contohnya, when, kapan, where, di mana, why, mengapa, how, bagaimana. Seperti itu. The circumstance can be in the form of adverbs, adverb phrases, prepositional phrases, and subordinate clauses. Jadi, circumstance itu bentuknya bisa adverb, adverb phrases, prepositional phrases, and subordinate clauses. Circumstance itu dibagi menjadi 3, ada extent, location, sama manner. Untuk yang pertama, itu ada extent and location. Dia berupa size and location. Extent in circumstance is a measure. Jadi extent di circumstance itu berupa ukuran. Contohnya seperti yards, rounds, and years. Extent sama location itu bisa berupa spatial dan juga temporal. Kalau spatial contohnya ada space, distance, dan juga place. Kalau temporal itu bisa berupa duration and time. So, the extents can be marked with interrogative forms, how far, how long, how many, and how many times. Jadi extent itu bisa diidentifikasikan dengan kalimatannya seperti how far, seberapa jauh, how long, how many, seberapa banyak, dan sebagainya. Whereas a location can be marked with the interrogative form where and when. Jadi kalau location itu bisa diidentifikasikan dengan kalimat tanya where, di mana, dan juga when, kapan. Jenis circumstance yang ketiga yaitu manner or nature or way. Manner refers to several subcategories. Jadi manner itu dibagi menjadi 3 subcategories. Yang pertama itu ada means or tools. Means refers to a device or means that cause a process to occur. Jadi means itu adalah sebuah alat atau sarana yang menyebabkan sebuah proses itu terjadi. In general, means are expressed with prepositional phrases that use the prepositions by or with. Jadi means itu bisa menggunakan preposisi by sama with. Contohnya, she beat the pig with the stick. Bisa diketahui bahwa the stick di sini itu merupakan jenis circumstance karena sebelumnya itu ada kata with atau jika diartikan dengan di bahasa Indonesia itu dengan stick seperti itu. Jadi itu merupakan means atau circumstance. Kategori selanjutnya yaitu quality. Quality is usually expressed with the adverb group with the adverb ly as the core. Jadi quality itu berupa adverb yang terdapat imbuhan ly di belakangnya. Interrogative question word or to find out quality is how or how plus the adverb. Jadi untuk kata tanyanya biasanya itu berupa how atau bagaimana. Contohnya di situ ada it was snowing heavily. Nah, heavily itu merupakan circumstance-nya karena itu berupa adverb. Kategori selanjutnya yaitu comparison. Comparisons are usually expressed with prepositional phrases that use like or unlike. Jadi comparison itu berupa frasa preposisi, contohnya seperti like or unlike. In addition, comparison can also be expressed by adverb groups that show similarities or differences. Jadi comparison itu berupa grup adverb yang menunjukkan perbedaan ataupun persamaan. The interrogative for comparison is what, like. Contohnya di situ ada kalimat it went through my head like an earthquake. Jadi an earthquake itu merupakan circumstance karena ada frasa preposisinya like. That's all of our presentation and explanation. Thank you so much for your attention, and we're really sorry if we did a lot of mistakes in this video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.